The best thing about any Doom game is your arsenal. However, Doom Eternal presents a particularly refined and polished collection of weapons that allow you to express yourself through glorious violence against the armies of the underworld. Is it the they're not really from the underworld, whatever. Last time, I talked about how I like to use the plasma rifle and its modifications, but in today's video, I'm going to be focusing my attention on the combat shotgun specifically.
Stars and Stripes!
Hello and welcome to another carrotscraps video, and by another, I mean the 70th. So, of course, I gotta give my typical disclaimer at the beginning of the video before we get into the full thing. First things first, I am not a professional Doom Eternal player, whatever that is. I'm just a casual player who loves playing the game a lot and is slowly getting better at the game as time goes on. I've mostly played the game on Hurt Me Plenty, but recently I've really gotten into ultraviolence. I've also been secretly experimenting with nightmare runs, but maybe we'll talk more about that in the future. But my intention is not to tell people how to play the game, I'm just explaining how I like playing personally, and I hope it's at least interesting or helpful in some way, even if it's minor. In addition, most of the footage from this video was taken on my Xbox One while replaying missions on ultraviolence. There's also some PlayStation 5 footage sprinkled in occasionally, just for good measure. Anyway, without further ado, let's talk about this shotgun. Now, the shotgun is my favorite gun in all of video games. In terms of general weaponry, it's only rivaled by the sword. If it wasn't for swords and like katanas, I would just say that the shotgun is my favorite weapon in all of video games. I just love the quick explosion of damage it provides, and luckily the Doom franchise has many well-polished shotguns for me to choose from. Now, I love the shotgun in Doom Eternal, but I'm actually not a huge fan of the vanilla version. By vanilla, I mean, the shotgun without any mods. It's not bad, it definitely does the trick, but generally, I don't think it gives enough kick for me to enjoy it. On recent playthroughs, I've been really finding my rhythm with the vanilla shotgun when I'm fighting tentacles. Using the vanilla shotgun against tentacles in the game is like the first time that I've felt it's really, really useful. And again, it's not that it wasn't useful in other places, it's just, I feel like this is its specific use for me, When I'm attacking these tentacles with the shotgun, it doesn't use up a lot of ammo, which is nice, and it's a pretty reliable way to kill them. I don't have to wonder whether it's going to happen or not. I know that the shotgun is going to take them off the board immediately. But when it comes to fighting other enemies, I don't find myself using it very frequently. I guess it can pretty reliably kill an imp, like a zombie or a soldier, most fodder enemies, but generally speaking, I don't want to kill those enemies immediately. As I mentioned last time, I need them for glory kills, so a weapon that immediately kills them is not necessarily what I want. Although generally, if I'm looking to get a glory kill while using that shotgun, I'll do it from pretty far away. I'll try to keep like a good, 9 feet distance from the enemy, and then I'll pop off a shotgun round. And if I'm closer, I'll try to aim at their feet, and that'll generally give me a good glory kill opportunity. But I don't really use the shotgun to get glory kills in general. But again, there's also just something about the shotgun in the game. I love the way it looks, but it just doesn't have a really powerful kick to it that makes me enjoy using it the same way that I do with the super shotgun. I think maybe I wish there was just a little bit more recoil when you fire the combat shotgun, because it feels like a little dainty when it connects, unlike with the super shotgun. But then again, it's called the combat shotgun. It's meant to be like a contained blast. If there was a ton of recoil, then it would kind of defeat the purpose. In fact, I actually went back and played Doom 2016, so that way I can compare the shotgun in that game versus this one, and I actually like that one way more than the one in Eternal. And sure enough, I think the reason is because the kickback and the recoil is way stronger in 2016. But who knows, maybe the reason why the shotgun in Eternal doesn't have as much of a kick is to incentivize you to use the modifications. But like I said, it's not a bad shotgun, I'm just kind of splitting hairs here. I'm just surprised that it's not one of my favorites. Debatably, the vanilla combat shotgun is one of my least favorite guns in the game. That being said though, I do love this weapon, and that's because of its modifications specifically. But when it comes to a discussion of modifications on the combat shotgun, unfortunately, I must go back in time to a dark era. Many moons ago, there was a divide in the Doom Eternal community. Sides were taken, and conflict was the only reality we could be sure would persevere during the tides of chaos. What caused this tension? What could have so severely separated the player base? Well, you see, two tribes had formed at this time. One side worshipped the full auto modification on the shotgun, and the other followed the teachings of the sticky shotgun mod. These times came to be known as the Eternal Shotgun Disagreements. Oh, wait, the Eternal Shotgun War. That's what I meant to say. That sounds better than disagreements. It sounds trivial when you put it the other way. This war persevered for dozens of hours before the fires of battle died down. When all was said and done, none could say for sure why this conflict had begun in the first place. Many of the names had been lost to time, but only the scribes of old were able to record these happenings for future generations. But which side of the conflict did the Carrot Boy pledge their allegiance to? Oh, dear viewer, we shall get to that in time. For only with time can these mysteries reveal themselves. But it was the sticky shotgun mod. I love the sticky bombs so much, and I don't care so much about the full auto. Now, it saddens my heart to say that I forget about the full auto mod pretty frequently when playing the game. I can't help it. I'm drawn to the sticky bombs and I rarely veer off that path, but I definitely should do so more often. The full auto mod is incredible, especially in the early parts of the game. When I first started implementing this mod into my gameplay, I was shocked at how useful and how powerful it was. You essentially get a version of the mobile turret in level 1. I mean, I really think the full auto mod is that powerful. But to balance that raw power, this mod eats through your ammo really quickly. Whipping out the full auto on an Arachnotron feels amazing, but if you run out of ammo and don't have an exit plan, you're absolutely toast. I feel like whipping out the full auto on an Arachnotron should be like the name of my first album. I'm not putting out an album anytime soon, but it's just such a great name. It's also like just a little quirky with how it revs up. You need to be aware that it takes a couple of seconds to really start spitting out lead. On a side note, I also really love the animation of the full auto mod. I feel like the spinning of the 3 barrels is one of the best animations for a weapon in the game, and it's a real treat to watch. And I think it's also worth highlighting that beyond the animation, the design of the gameplay of the full auto mod is just so genius in my opinion. What a creative type of shotgun to implement into the game. Even if I don't use it as often as I'd like to, I really respect like how over the top and how inventive this idea was. And I wanted to celebrate that really quickly. But while playing the game, I find myself using this mod during the early levels of my playthroughs. Like I said, it does a lot of damage in the early game when you don't have many other weapons, and that's super useful. I don't think there's necessarily something that replaces the full auto in the later game. I think I just forget that it's an option, especially since I use the sticky bombs so much. But let's talk about strategies that I have with the full auto. I tend to toss a grenade or an ice bomb before really going in with the full auto mod. Prepping that full auto attack with some time to rev up its engine without worrying about taking on too much damage is really important to me. You can't really be mobile with this mod after all, so you have to keep that in mind while using it. I mostly use that equipment full auto combo on Arachnotrons, Hell Knights, Cyber Knights, and maybe a Mancubus if I can get close enough to them. In the end, this is an extremely powerful modification, but it demands respect from you if you want to use it without dying. Anyway, let's shift our focus and talk about the other side of the shotgun wars, the sticky bomb modification. Now, the sticky shotgun mod is my first love in Doom Eternal. Honestly, I'm not sure if I'd love the mod as much as I do if it wasn't for the weak point system, but in my early playthroughs, I would use this mod for everything at all times. I always felt like with this mod, I could do a little bit of damage super reliably without slowing down. If I had to stay still for the full auto mod, the sticky bomb allowed me to be extremely mobile, and I appreciated that. Doom Eternal is so fast. The player and the demons are moving a mile a minute at all times, but the sticky bomb quickly lets me damage a demon super reliably. So even though this mod doesn't do a ton of damage to heavy enemies, I end up using sticky bombs on them anyway in passing while I'm just running around the arena, just to chip at their health little by little while I'm trying to figure out the combat puzzle. As I've mentioned already, it's also incredibly reliable when it comes to weak points. If you know how to aim the arc of the bomb, you are guaranteed to hear that beautiful shatter sound effect. It can be tough to line up that shot, especially when you're just starting out, but it's not too hard, so it's rewarding without just giving that victory to the player, which I really appreciate. How I normally use these bombs is all the time. I use them all the time. I use them so frequently that I feel guilty, like I'm playing the game the wrong way. Longtime viewers of the channel know my obsession with this modification. But here are some specific ways that I like to use the sticky bombs that aren't just, constantly. Using sticky bombs on Hell Knights is something that I do pretty frequently, even though it doesn't seem like it would make much sense on the surface. Normally, I'll use sticky bombs on a Hell Knight when they surprise me and I need to put some distance between us. Maybe I'm low on health, maybe I don't have the right weapon ready, or maybe I just need some space. The thing is, I can run away while doing little bits of damage to the Hell Knight before catching my breath, and I really love that. Another way I really rely on the sticky bombs is for the whiplash. Now, we'll get to this in the future, but I hate the whiplash. They are tricky and fast and tough to deal with. But I've found that because they're so quick, the sticky bombs are actually a really great counter to their speed. And if you hit them enough times with the sticky bombs, you'll eventually do some big damage. Now, recently I've found new ways to deal with the whiplash, but for a while I would almost exclusively use this sticky bomb method because I felt like it was a reliable way to delete them. In fact, sometimes I'll still use this strategy if a whiplash pops up and I need to get rid of them fast. Sometimes it feels like the only way I can counter their speed other than using an ice bomb. Another one of the more useful ways that I use the sticky bombs is when I'm stuck in purple goo. Obviously, the purple goo limits your mobility, but having an explosive weapon with such a far reach that just grabs onto other enemies is really helpful during those sections. Otherwise, I feel like a pig in a barrel. You know, wait, like a fish in a, I feel like a fish in a barrel. What is the matter with me? And I honestly feel like the sticky bombs are kind of catered to that part of the game. So if you're someone who gets frustrated with the purple goo, try using sticky bombs during those sections from now on. And I think you might have a better experience moving forward. Another great way to use sticky bombs, in my opinion, is for quick armor. Use a flame belch on a group of enemies, hopefully they're fodder and hopefully they're way too close to each other, and then throw a single sticky bomb into the crowd. Then boom, after that explosion, hopefully you'll get a bunch of armor. Now normally I use grenades for this fast armor farm, but sticky bombs work really well as well. Why do I always have to question the way I say things? Lastly, of course, like I mentioned earlier, these bombs wreck weak points super reliably. I rarely, if ever, use the precision bolt and will almost always switch to the sticky bombs to get rid of a weak point. If my goal is to get rid of weak points, the sticky bomb is almost always what I use. And I hope you won't hold it against me if I chose the sticky bombs in the Eternal Shotgun War, when the full auto tribe and the sticky bomb tribe couldn't see eye to eye. Those were dark times, but I like to think that those times are over. And on a semi-serious note, I kind of love that this game has so much depth to it that people can get into disagreements on just one set of mods for one weapon. I think that's really cool, and I think it's a testament to the quality of the game. But the full auto sucks, and sticky bombs are the best. I hope you're not tired of me repeating myself, because the shotgun is my favorite gun in video games, and Doom Eternal doesn't disappoint when delivering it. In fact, they love the shotgun so much that they don't just include 2 versions of it, they also include multiple modifications for that gun. Which I know they do for all the guns, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's incredible how much love and care went into designing this weapon over the years. And in the most recent iteration of the franchise, that work is obvious because of how fun it is to use the shotgun. I love all the weapons in Doom Eternal, but even the ones that fall lower on my tier list still manage to impress me, and I think that's really awesome. As time goes on, I hope I can come up with new ways to use the shotgun and its mods, and if I come up with anything interesting, I'll try to let you know. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. I want to thank you so much for watching. If for some reason you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and to subscribe to my channel for more. As regular viewers of the channel know, I make a wide variety of content, and I'm always going to make the videos that I want to make. But if you see a video that you like, let me know, and I'll try to prioritize that kind of content in the future. If you want to watch me play video games live, check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/carrotscraps, and all my other social media, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram are all at carrotscraps as well. I want to thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Mamma mia, everybody's just in the house yelling at the top of their lungs, so I can't record. They're not even speaking to each other. They're just screaming. They're not even saying words. They're just yelling, incoherent sounds. That's all they're doing. They're not communicating. They're just making noise. I'm convinced that something happened to them. The food that we ate last night, maybe the electricity, the shower, I don't know. Now they need like echolocation to communicate and to find their way in the world. And that's just so annoying, when I'm trying to make YouTube videos. I guess it's also like a scientific marvel or something. But mostly the YouTube video thing.